Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist claiming that they became fat phobic when they lost weight. They go on to talk about thin privilege, say that all diets fail, and ask, what are you gonna do when you gain the weight back? You guys want to check in with Rocco and Lily real quick? I got this one right here. Oh my gosh. Her ears are so big, dude. And yet she never listens, huh? Here's Rocco. He's a good boy. Did you know that I have a second channel where I talk about topics that are not related to fat acceptance? It's called Cynical Reacts. I recently released a video over there where I'm reacting to a preacher faith healing cringe compilation. Here's a link. Be sure to subscribe over there. Also, please sure to check out my Instagram, Facebook, and a link to my Discord server below. Pop in by the Discord and say hi to me. I'm always in there. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Can go on an intentional weight loss journey without then talking shit about.
You gotta go back and watch Angeline's video. I absolutely adore her.
I did watch that one. Are you gonna make the same great points that she made?
And she's encouraged me to add my 2 cents from a very nuanced point of view. And that was 10 years ago, I lost a lot of weight. And I became super fat phobic.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was cruel, hurtful. I was a bully.
Is this true?
Like, I was a bully. I was an ass. And the reason I believe is because when weight loss is something a lot of people want to do. And when you achieve weight loss, you are put on such a pedestal. You are so revered and applauded. Like, people would tell me all the time, oh my God, you look amazing. Oh my God, you must have such amazing willpower. That diet you're on, I must go on it. It sounds awesome.
All right, so you lost weight and there were a lot of positive praise from people around you. And it made your head swell up and then you started dunking on larger people or what?
Side note, no you don't. It was incredibly unhealthy. Do not go on that diet.
It was very unhealthy. Do not go on that diet, she says. If whatever diet you went on to lose weight was like doing whatever thing for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, then yeah, that's not sustainable. When we change the way that we eat and lose weight, it lasts forever because we changed the way that we eat permanently. That's why it's known as a lifestyle change. They don't mean you're just gonna start parting your hair to the left instead of the right from now on. They mean you're gonna eat differently forever. I just can't seem to lose weight, man. I tried a lifestyle change, dude. Look, wearing gray shirts from now on, it didn't help.
But I let them stroke my ego. Of course I did. I've been fat my entire life. No one had ever spoken to me like this before.
Okay. Did this happen, though?
Okay? No one had ever applauded me. No one had ever looked up to me like this before. It was intoxicating.
So you want people to look up to you and to applaud you. Okay. What's up with everybody wanting to be applauded and all this type of weird stuff?
And so when I would look at my fat friends or fat folks, I'd be like, well, why don't they want what I have? Like, why don't they want to achieve this feeling?
Well, if you have found a better way, then you might want to help your friends who are living in not a better way, right? You're like, hey, dude, I discovered the secret to weight loss. Let me go ahead and share that information with you guys or whatever. That makes sense.
Oh, no, they can't. It's because they don't have the same willpower as I do. So therefore, I must be better, right? And when I explain it like that, it is so abundantly clear why this happens. It's so obvious, right?
Maybe I'm just a dullard, but it's not that obvious to me. Why is this happening? Please explain.
But it still happens. I'm not excusing it at all. I'm just setting out what the reality of the situation was. So I became the girl who lost a lot of weight. I was an inspiration. My friends would tell their friends my story. They would be like, oh, I have a friend and she lost 8 stone in a year, which is actually
8 stone in a year. For my American viewers, 8 stone is 112 pounds. That is very impressive to lose in a year.
Oh, I have a friend and she lost 8 stone in a year, which is actually exaggerated.
Oh, that's exaggerated.
But I was like this folklore. I was like this mythical creature.
That is truly inspirational weight loss then. You become a mythical creature. Have you guys heard the tale of Joanne's weight loss? It was crazy. Mythical even. You've heard of other mythical creatures such as the Loch Ness Monster. Now we've got the Hot Mess Monster. Mwah.
Who achieved the most amazing feat of all, which was to lose weight and become thin.
It is a very amazing feat. We don't need to try to downplay it. It's funny how they simultaneously try to act like it's not an amazing feat, yet all of them say that they've tried it and failed.
But then the diet stopped working, and I started gaining weight, which is...
The diet didn't stop working, you started eating differently, which gave you different results.
Well, Angelique says this is what we know. Diets don't work long term.
Well, the Yoga Booty Beach Blast diet, where you eat nothing but chocolate pudding, it is not a long-term diet plan. None of those fad diets are. Having meal replacement shakes also doesn't work long-term unless you're going to do that for the rest of your life. What does work is changing the way that you eat from now on, forever. One of the main things that you'll have to tackle if you want to permanently change your lifestyle is changing your priorities. If health becomes your top priority, then you will do whatever it takes to facilitate that goal. Some people have a $2,000 iPhone, but they buy whatever food is cheapest at the store. Their priorities are different than mine. I have one of the cheapest phones that you can get, but I spend a fortune at the grocery store every single week. And I'm not saying you need to spend a fortune at the grocery store to be healthy or anything, although these days, yes you do. To buy anything at any grocery store is a fortune, period.
In fact, this diet irreparably damaged my digestive system that affects me to this day.
How? How did it irreparably damage your digestive system to this day? I have heartburn to this day. What does that mean? Honestly, I don't buy that. I don't think your digestive system is permanently damaged from a dumb diet that you did back in the day.
Okay? It is not sustainable.
It's ironic that they're always saying that diets are not sustainable, as if obesity is.
Started getting weight. Massive crisis of self.
Massive crisis of self?
Because who the f*** am I? Who am I?
I don't know. I don't know. Who are you?
If I'm not the girl who lost a lot of weight, I'm no longer the inspiration. The compliments stopped coming, you know? Who am I? I gained the weight and then some back.
Well, surely that must be everyone else's experience then, too. Yeah, I don't get the part where everybody gains the weight back and then some. Like, what? Why? So I lost 100 pounds doing whatever stupid fad diet. And then I eventually gained it back because I stopped doing that stupid fad diet because I could only eat so many rice cakes. Gained it all back. And then I went off the rails even harder and gained more for some reason. Because I'm remembering that time when I was eating the rice cakes. I'm like, dude, a couple months ago I was just eating rice cakes. I better go completely off the rails now. Just thinking about that period in my life stresses me out. Like, why? Why would you just eat more now and gain additional weight? If you went back to how you were eating before, I can see getting back to your previous weight, but why would you gain more then? You started eating more, obviously. That's just simple physics. So then the question becomes, why did I start eating more just because there was a period before where I wasn't eating a lot? What kind of bizarre-ass mentality do I have where I have to make up for lost time or whatever? Like, all of these are internal questions. These are not questions about dieting in general. Why do I feel the need to make up for the time when I didn't go completely off the rails? Like,
and at the end of it, I found the body positivity, fat liberation, and fat acceptance communities. And I started to...
You started to disconnect from reality more and more with each passing day until we made up this story. I started tumbling down the rabbit hole of fat acceptance. Next thing you know, I was making up outlandish stories.
Really understand that my self-worth is not tied to my body size. It is not tied to what the scales say.
Yeah, the fat acceptance movement is always talking about I gave up on caring what the scale says and what my appearance looks like and all this type of stuff, but who can really just give up on any of that stuff? There are many aspects to a human being, and one of them is that we do care how we look. It's why people shower and shave and put on nice looking clothes and makeup and all this type of stuff. We shouldn't lean into our superficiality and care about nothing but looks, but it's fine to acknowledge that we do care to a certain degree. If we didn't care, then people wouldn't take the piss out of me when I don't cut my hair for like 3 months. Like, hey, conehead. Shut up! Shut up!
And I recognise I exchanged my empathy, my humanity.
Humanity. There's a T in there. Sorry, I have to make fun of the accent here and there. Humanity. Humanity. There's a little bit of an English lesson from an American for you. Oh, you guys hate that, don't you? Oh, you hate that, don't you, UK? I'm just taking the piss, mate.
My friends, you know, my relationships with friends, potentially, luckily, they still are my friends. Thankfully, no, they could have cut me out. They should have cut me out. I was an
Okay, well, I guess you didn't dunk on them too hard then, huh?
asshole, you know what I mean? But I sacrificed all that in order to align myself with thin privilege, in order to align myself into that in-group.
To align yourself with thin privilege. Dude, I don't know why, but I just don't buy any of this.
As Angela says, the in-group and the out-group. And then through my recovery, I recognised what I was doing.
Okay.
Now I can plead ignorance because this happened 10 years ago. I didn't know anything about body positivity.
This happened 10 years ago. How old are you?
I was nowhere near as versed as I am now in fat acceptance and fat liberation.
I don't think that fat liberation existed 10 years ago, did it? I know that like the NAFA thing goes back to the 70s or whatever, and some people try to talk about the roots of fat liberation and blah, 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 but as far as I'm concerned, it just started existing a couple of years ago.
Okay, so I was cruel, does not excuse my cruelness, but I guess I just didn't know any better. Like, you know, being fat was seen as such a sin I had to resolve. I no longer feel like that way, but that's how I felt when I was 22 years old, okay?
Oh, okay, you were 22 then. All right, so you're 32 now. All right.
Okay. But what I can't understand is when people who came up in the body positivity community, came up in the fat acceptance community, you know, made money off of these communities, have now decided to pursue intentional weight loss. And I want to echo what Angelina says.
Oh, now we're coming back to getting mad at other people for losing weight again. All of their videos are about that, aren't they? No matter what the actual topic of the video is, it always comes back to, and then these other people lost weight and it wasn't cool. Okay, so she is saying that it's fine that she lost weight before because she didn't know about fat liberation and whatnot. But now there are people that have come up in fat liberation and made money off of it and everything. And now they're losing weight and that's a huge issue. What? So it was cool when you lost weight, but it's not cool when they do. Okay. And now we're trying to justify it with all these other stupid reasons. Gotcha.
You do you. If you want to lose weight, crack on. Bodily autonomy is 100% a right.
But not if I made money selling fat liberation merchandise? Come on. I like money.
Crack on. But
I will crack on.
do not understand why you need to on this community, especially when you've come from that community, when you've built up from that community, when you've
Because if somebody's in the community, then they know better than anybody else how crap it is. Why are you so confused that people that were brought up in this community and have been so involved with it are now crapping on it? Because nobody knows that community like them. They're like, yeah, I was deep up in that community, so I know how terrible it is. I know how much of a crabs in the bucket mentality the entire community has, so I left. Now I'm warning you guys. Just because you were previously a part of something doesn't mean you can't leave it and critique it now. When we leave a cult, we often try to warn others to not join the cult. Getting mad at others for leaving the cult just proves that it is a cult.
aired everyone's stories, how can you then turn around and on it? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to you? Well, when somebody like me critiques the fat acceptance movement, I'm doing it from an outsider's perspective. So my critiques aren't even as harsh as they could be. If I had been part of the movement, then I would have an insider's view and I could give an even better perspective.
And it's so sad. I'm so saddened by it because I'm seeing these people do the same cycle I did.
Oh yeah, what cycle are you on? Some trend, some D-ball.
And that is exchanging your integrity, your morals, your ethics, your kindness, your empathy. You're exchanging that with aligning with thin privilege.
Okay, well, I disagree with that. But it is a jerk move to lose weight and then start making fun of larger people. If that did really happen, like you started treating all your friends like garbage from now on because you lost weight and they didn't or whatever, that's not cool. Not a good friend. I agree there. And in the same regard, if you get accepted by the cool kids and then you go and start crapping on your former friends who were actually there for you when nobody else was, you're kind of a piece of garbage, right? A lot of humans fall for that. You're one of us now, man. Don't hang out with those losers. Don't be like that, man. Be a good friend to your friends.
But we know that alignment is so flippant, right? So,
alignment is flippant.
for example, if I was to now say, oh, I am now going to pursue intentional weight loss, I would get a very, very small smidgen of alignment to thin privilege because I get a pat on the back and people tell me, well done, you're doing so well, you're an inspiration, good for you, etc, 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 right?
Very small alignment. I think you might be shocked at the amount of people that would give you encouragement when you try to turn your health around. A lot of people are actually fairly decent, fairly nice. I know there's a lot of bad ones out there too, but a lot of people are pretty chill and they want to be helpful to others.
But say in like 3 months' time, even though I'm trying to lose weight or I've been following a diet and I didn't lose any weight, I would then have that alignment to thin privilege removed.
That's true. We give you a 3-month grace period. We're like, all right, we're going to treat you good for the next 3 months. You better be thin by the end of this thing, I swear to God. And if at the end of the 3 months you're not thin, then we're instantly like, oh, what the hell? You're out. You're out. That timer just went off. You're done. Get out.
Because I haven't lost any weight. You see what I'm saying? It is so flippant. What happens when the diet stops working?
What happens when the diet stops working? You don't go on a stupid diet that's not maintainable. You don't go on the all salad diet or the all rice cake diet or something that doesn't make you full. Diets where you're constantly hungry are not sustainable. You don't even need to do anything super special. If you are very obese, losing weight is as simple as not eating highly processed garbage anymore and just eating regular food. When we change our lifestyle permanently, we will see permanent results.
Which they do. We know they do.
No, you went on something unmaintainable, and therefore you didn't maintain it. Then you went back to eating how you were eating, gained weight back, and then some. So what do you mean we know that diets don't work?
What happens when, you get to a point and you hit a plateau? What happens? You lose that alignment to that privilege.
So we should just never try to take care of our health because we might hit a plateau and lose our alignment to thin privilege. Yeah, we might, but we might succeed. If we don't try, we definitely will not succeed, homie. You understand that, right? You miss 100% of the shots that you do not take.
It is not worth, I believe, it is not worth throwing your integrity for. I really, really, really believe that.
Well, the rest of us don't have to lose our integrity just because we lost weight. That's a new one. Don't lose weight. You'll lose all your integrity and be a jerk to everybody. Or you could not do that. I'm not going to say that I've never been a jerk. I haven't always been the loving, supportive person that I am today. Every passing year, I become an entirely different person. I'm a work in progress, dude.
And that's why I feel so sad about the whole situation, about seeing these cycles repeat, and then, fade to black. It's just sad.
I agree, it is sad that people have tried unmanageable, unsustainable diets that did not work, and then they got a bad view of the entire idea of losing weight. We mustn't give up on the concept of being healthy just because we've tried a couple ways in the past that didn't work out. So what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Are all diets harmful just because some people have done a couple of stupid fad diets and it didn't work out, and then they regained the weight and then some? Leave a comment below. Happy Friday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.